Hi, I'm Kelsey Horton, 29 years old. I grew up in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I am a nurse, I am a wife, I'm a mother, and I've been powerlifting for over 6 years now. So being a mother of two is definitely not easy in and of itself, let alone, being a working mother and then trying to find time for fitness. Typically I just try to spend as much time as I can with my kiddos, which means that I don't train until late at night. Train anywhere from 8 to 10 p.m. Get home, make lunches for the next day, and get ready to start all over again. So it's definitely challenging juggling it all, but very worthwhile. If nothing else, it's giving me a pretty awesome example to show my daughter of how much she can accomplish if she sets her mind to it. Initially, I actually went to school to be a chemical engineer. I found out very quickly that I did not like chemistry as much as I thought I did. There was a nursing program close by, and I thought it seemed like a pretty rewarding career to have, recession-proof, because people are always getting sick. So I thought there'd be pretty good job security with that too. And besides that, I just really love learning and helping people as much as I can in any capacity that I can. And nursing's about the best job you can have to help people. I'm a registered nurse. I work at a physician-owned surgical hospital. We do a lot of orthopedic surgeries. We do general surgeries, plastic surgeries, ENT, which is ear, nose, and throat. I really love being in healthcare because it's constantly changing. And besides all that, I'm learning more and more about my body and how it works. So I've been with the surgical hospital for about 6 months now, and I absolutely love it. Prior to that, I was in primary care. And before that, I worked in a little border hospital in New Mexico. So powerlifting happened completely by accident. My family and I moved to New Mexico for 3 years. One of the guys that I used to run college track with actually got a job in the same location we were at. I needed somebody to train with, someone to kind of motivate me a little bit, so we started training together. He and his entire family had been powerlifting for forever. And he encouraged me to try a meet out, and I was hesitant at first because I didn't know much about it, and took my first meet, and I was hooked since. So that was March of 2013 was my very first powerlifting meet. I competed Boss of Bosses back summer of 2017 is where I met some cool guys from Universal and started kind of using their products, picking up on things there, and just trying to supplement my nutrition as best as I could. They've been around for a long time, and it seemed pretty good. Besides that, my dad actually used to use the product when he used to train back in the day. So I remember seeing that kind of iconic yellow U and the red man and stuff like that. So it's kind of been a staple in my nutrition and my family's for quite some time. So my goals when I started training was initially for aesthetics, superficial as it was. When I found powerlifting though, my goals shifted drastically, where I wanted to see just how far I could push my body without looking a certain way. How much could I bench press? How much could I bend down and pick off the ground? So my mindset and my goals changed drastically since I started training. The meat and potatoes to my training though is powerlifting based. So your trinity, right? The bench press, squat, deadlift. That's my meat and potatoes. I do like to incorporate a lot of bro accessories and workout of the day or WOD style cardio. But for the most part, I do focus primarily on powerlifting training. So much like powerlifting, Titan Games found me completely by accident. I don't have cable, so I didn't see any of the advertisements for it. One day I had a message in my DMs, and I thought it was a joke. It was from one of the casting producers of the Titan Games, encouraging me to apply because he thought I kind of fit the criteria of what they were looking for, an everyday person who happens to excel, at something fitness related. So I threw my name into the hat, and they wanted to do a Skype interview with me. So I did a Skype interview. They liked that enough that they called me back for the combine. The combine, they just kind of put us through the ringer through multiple fitness things, deadlift, running, and so forth, and just basically to see us behind camera and make sure we weren't catfishing them, I guess. And then after that, I found out I was on the show, which was amazing. Something I never dreamed that I would do. Excuse me, but I'm very happy that I did do. So a couple of the cool things about the Titan Games was not only meeting The Rock, but meeting a bunch of like-minded individuals, people that do wear many hats, that juggle probably way too many plates. But that was one of the coolest parts of it. We had, people that had been at the CrossFit Games, an individual who played professional football, people trying out for the Olympics, stuff like that. So talk about being a very, very small fish in an extremely big pond. But then, of course, I get asked a lot, what was it like meeting The Rock? Well, kind of goes without saying that he's the man, but just a really nice, humble, down-to-earth individual, salt of the earth. Just exudes charisma from every pore of his body, too. You can't help but just love him. When he walks into a room, he brings a crazy presence with him. So both of those things, in addition to competing, were probably my favorite parts about being out there filming in LA. When I'm not in the gym, being a mom or being a nurse, I don't know, like to be outside. We do hunting, we go hiking, we dig for fossils. Just like to be outside as much as possible. In South Dakota, we have 2 seasons, which are winter and construction. So it makes it kind of tricky to get outside and be able to enjoy the weather when we're able to. Initially, when I started my social media account, it was only to keep myself accountable to my lifting. What I started to find was that more and more females, especially mothers, were finding motivation in my posts, which is amazing. You don't think of anything that you're doing as anything special, it's just your day-to-day. So, I'm on a mission now to just have one mother, if I can just have one mother challenge her own status quo at home and want to take time for herself, then I'm doing everything that I need to be for my social media account, for my fitness. Of course, I'm doing a lot of it for myself. I like to be healthy and so forth, but it's how you can impact other people too that's much more meaningful. If you've started powerlifting and you're on the fence of whether you should compete or not, do it. I was hesitant first too, but once you get up there, you get all your nerves out of your system and take that first squat attempt. It kind of all dissipates and you think, all right, I'm here to do work. And it's, I guess the hardest thing is taking that plunge and signing up for a meet, but I would say the soonest you know about a meet, sign up, commit, and then train for it. I don't know, there's nothing like competing though. The community and the spirit of powerlifting is much like nothing I've ever experienced. Like, everyone wants to do their best, but nobody wants to see you miss a lift. So I just think the whole powerlifting community in general is pretty positive, and I feel very blessed to be a part of it. Well, and I think what the coolest thing about powerlifting to me is that literally anybody can do it. I teach my kids how to deadlift. I mean, we deadlifted on Thanksgiving. That was our pre-dinner workout. And I've seen, ladies and gentlemen as old as 80 plus years old lifting. So anybody can do it. That's what's amazing about it. And literally everybody who does it feels some sort of empowerment, which, no one can take that away from you. Make sure you like this. Comment below if you have any questions, comments. Let me guys know what you think. And don't forget to check out this video.